time to go see my brother. Wait, Milo, are you screaming and hey, why are you standing out there staring at the ocean?
Come back, Nessie! You can move into my swimming pool!
Milo, who is Nessie and what are you shouting at?
Ah, Chip, I was just shouting at my friend Nessie. The Loch Ness monster that lives in Scottsdale?
What, Milo, do you mean the Loch Ness monster that lives in Scotland? Anyway, that's a myth and we're not in Scotland.
I actually saw it, Chip! What's this? Nessie!
Huh? Wait, Milo, that's not Nessie. Oh no, Milo, that's Bloop. You cannot be friends with that thing. He'll eat you.
Whatever, Chip. I'm gonna build him a home and it's gonna be the best home he's ever had!
What? You can't do that, Milo. I'm gonna build him an even better home and keep him there forever so Bloop won't eat you.
No, I'm gonna build him such a beautiful home that he's gonna make me his best friend.
I've challenged my brother to a Noob versus Pro Bloop House Build Challenge. Can either of us build a house big enough for the Bloop to live in? And what happens when we anger the Bloop? We have 10 minutes to build our Bloop houses before Bloop comes back to us. Remember, Milo, the winner gets to keep Bloop and the loser, well, we'll find out what happens later.
Black Buzzer, you're going to need it!
Oh yeah, I think I'm gonna need it, but I'm gonna use it well. Now, I'm gonna start building over here. I need to grab different colors of concrete, and I think these are pretty good. I'm going to make my build a giant ship. I'm also going to make sure I build the Bloop biting through the front of it. This is so insane. I think my ship needs to look like the Titanic. That would be so cool. And the Titanic has very, very famous colors. I'm gonna build my Titanic, I think, around the center of this really deep ocean area. That way, the center of the house will be in an area that the Bloop can reach. The Bloop is huge. He is famously gigantic, and that means we need to really build a house that's huge enough for him to fit inside. I surely hope he'll actually fit inside this one, otherwise I'll be really, really embarrassed. Okay, this red area is looking pretty good actually. I need to make it extend for a really, really long area. That's because the Bloop is actually going to be tearing through the side of it. That's just how powerful the Bloop is. In real life, the Bloop is insanely terrifying. He always prowls the ocean depths, looking for sunken ships that he can destroy. Well, this ship that I'm building now is not exactly sunken, and it's not exactly on the ocean depths, but the Bloop also will attack really big ships. It's okay though, most cruise ships actually come with defenses against Bloops. It's pretty impressive.
I'm really excited to build the best Bloopy home in the world. Chip, you're gonna be jealousy.
What? No way, Milo, I do not think I'm going to be jealous at all. Trust me, my home is going to be the most Bloop-proof in the world, and it's also going to have the actual Bloop in it, so you'll get to see the Bloop.
The real Bloop is gonna be on your one? Yeah, right. That's not gonna happen. You can have the fake Bloop, but I'm gonna have the real one.
What? Milo, how are you going to get the real Bloop in your side? Isn't that the whole point of this build challenge? To make a house that the real Bloop wants to go inside?
Yeah, exactly. That's why he's gonna be over here.
Oh my goodness, Milo, the real Bloop is not gonna want to go over to your side. Trust me, I kinda know these things, and the Bloop is definitely gonna prefer my house over yours.
What's your house gonna be, like orange or something? Everyone knows Bloop hates the color orange.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm not even building out of orange. I'm actually building out of red, black, and white. Or instead of black, it's actually a really dark gray. That's because I'm building a Titanic house, Milo.
What? Titanic?
Oh yeah, the Titanic is one of the most famous sunken ships ever. That's why I'm actually building it here. The Bloop loves to sink ships all the time, and because he's so big, he does not have any trouble doing it. By making sure that my house looks like the Titanic, I can make it into one of the Bloop's favorite things.
That's actually pretty smart, but I bet you're not doing what I'm doing.
What, Milo? What are you doing?
Well, I'm building a welcome home mat.
A welcome home mat? Milo, the Bloop can't read. He's a fish.
Yeah, well, he is going to read because I'm going to teach him how.
Oh, good luck with that, Milo. My house is not just going to be a Titanic, you know. It's going to be a little more interesting than that. The Bloop is going to see himself tearing this house apart because I'm going to make the Titanic explode in the middle. That is because I need to build a huge, realistic pro Bloop statue in the middle. That is going to really make the Bloop feel like this is his proper home. Whoa, the ship is already looking amazing. I think once I separate it in half and then add the Bloop destroying it, it will be absolutely perfect and totally unstoppable. There's no way you could possibly win against this, Milo, just letting you know.
I'm pretty excited that it actually wasn't the long neck monster.
What, Milo, do you mean the Loch Ness monster?
Yeah, however you say it.
Yeah, Nessie is pretty scary, and she only lives in the Loch Ness Lake. That's a pretty deep lake.
Yeah, I'm a bit silly for thinking it was even that, but I'm really glad it was actually the Bloop
What? But Milo, the bloop is actually even scarier. The bloop is so powerful, it's destroyed a lot of the sunken pirate ships over the years.
Really? Like which one?
Well, Milo, most of them. A lot of the sunken pirate ships were destroyed by mysterious sea monsters, and the bloop is the most dangerous of them all. That's why he's so big and has no predators that can eat him.
And that's why he's gonna be my best friend. He's gonna protect me on all of my ocean fishing trips.
What? Milo, no, he's not gonna protect you unless that protection is from inside his stomach because he's gonna eat you.
Yeah, well, maybe I could have a little house inside his tummy.
Okay, Milo, that's just called being gobbled up by the bloop. That is not something you want at all.
Well, maybe I do want it.
Milo, you should not want to be eaten by the bloop. That is crazy talk. Oh my goodness. Milo, I really do need to win this. Otherwise, you could be eaten forever.
That would actually be pretty funny.
No, Milo, it wouldn't be funny. It would be terrifying. And oh gosh, if you're not going to protect yourself from the bloop, I guess I need to do it for you. This house needs to be so good that even if you really want to win to get eaten by the bloop, you still are not able to beat me. I've got a great feeling about that though. I think this house will really be good enough to win. This is looking pretty good. The Titanic is making some serious gains in the shape department, and I really like it. Now we'll place the final level, which is just a concrete block up here. This one needs to be white because those are the actual colors of the Titanic. The underneath of the hull was really red. Then most of it was this dark blackish gray color, but I'm using a slightly lighter gray. I just think it looks a little bit nicer. Then the very top was white. And then I think the deck was made out of spruce, so we're gonna need to add some spruce planks before we do what we actually have planned. And done! Okay, we've placed that layer of white, and now we need to grab our spruce planks just like this, and we just need to fill this area with them. Once we do this, I am so excited to do what I have planned because it's a little bit destructive. In fact, I'm just gonna get the materials ready. Oh boy, this is going to be very, very exciting. And we've now added in the spruce, but now I think it is time for the fun part. We are going to blow a giant hole in the entire center of this ship. Oh boy, this is so exciting. Here we go. Now, I think I'm gonna do it right here. Oh boy. Hey, Milo.
What?
Do you want to hear what I am doing to my Titanic right now?
What are you doing?
Well, I'm just placing down a bunch of TNT to get ready to blow a giant hole in the center of it.
Wait, what? Why are you blowing it up?
Well, Milo, that's because right now it does not have enough space for the bloop, but boom! If I use all this TNT, it will definitely have enough space inside. Wow, this is insane. It already looks so much more destroyed, and the bloop is definitely gonna help with that.
I cannot believe you actually just did that.
Well, if you can't believe that, Milo, you are not gonna believe the rest of what I have planned for this build. This is going to be absolutely epic. Oh no. Milo, do you hear that roar?
Wait, yeah, that's scary.
I can hear the bloop. It's getting closer. This means that we only have 5 minutes left to build.
What? How is time going so fast? I'm building as fast as I can.
You're right, Milo. I am also building as fast as I can. Come on, we need to build even faster though. I'm gonna get started on the next stage of my bloop house, and it is going to look insane. I've moved the boat back a little bit because it was way too close to the edge line. I also repaired the edge line because it was actually destroyed by my TNT blast. The boat needs to be pretty far towards the center of my build. Then I'll actually be able to fit the bloop going through it. Otherwise, the bloop's tail would go over the edge of the build line, and I would probably be disqualified, right, Milo?
Yeah, you cannot come over that side.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I promise I will not. That's why I've just moved my build inwards, and now I think it's the perfect location. Now I can build the actual bloop himself. He is so terrifying. He is actually really, really big, and I need to make sure I build him as huge as the real bloop is. Okay, I'm gonna make sure I build the bloop mouth going up really, really tall, and wait a minute. I think the bloop's mouth should even come towards the front of the ship. Oh yeah, this can be part of the bloop's body. Oh, I like this a lot. The bloop can actually be chomping its way through the Titanic, and the front of the head will already be through it. The bloop is absolutely gigantic, so if I just make the mouth ring around this area, I think it fits perfectly. The bloop reminds me kinda a bit of a basking shark. Those are just like the bloop, except they have no teeth and they're actually surprisingly not dangerous. It's really cool, and there are so many types of sharks. I do not even know if the bloop could be considered a shark. It's about 100 times bigger than even the biggest shark in history, which I think was the megalodon.
Chip, I got something to say.
Oh my goodness, what is it, Milo?
I actually think the bloop is adorable.
Milo, the bloop is not adorable. The bloop is terrifying. He's one of the most scary ocean monsters I think I've ever seen.
I think he's just a little guy. I think he's very misunderstood.
Yeah, Milo, I think he's misunderstood because people misunderstand that he's nowhere near as dangerous as he is. He is so terrifying, but nobody realizes that. Some people like you think he's friendly, but he is really evil, and he'll eat you if he gets the chance.
Oh yeah, one thing about Dad is I've been telling all of our villager friends that he's actually friendly.
What? Milo, no, don't tell our villager friends that he's friendly. He's not. He'll eat them.
Well, too late for that. And plus, he's not mean. He hasn't eaten anyone in like 4 days.
Milo, that's a really small amount of time. Most creatures don't eat any people in their whole lifetimes. If this shark can only go 4 days without eating people, he's evil.
Well, he's working on himself. He's trying to figure out and be a good boy.
Oh my gosh, Milo, the Bloop is not capable of being a good boy. He's too evil and giant. He will probably eat you and everything you build if he gets too close.
Yeah, well, this house is really gonna make him comfortable and happy, so you don't need to worry, Chip.
Oh my goodness, Milo, I do not know what you're building, but I know it is probably crazy. You always build really silly things, so trust me, whatever you make, I know that I'm also gonna make something that's even cooler. That way, the Bloop will definitely try and come to my house, and I can keep him inside because it'll be so big and so cool.
He's not living over there. You don't know the Bloop the way that I do. He's not gonna like your house at all.
What, Milo, you can speak to the Bloop?
Yeah, sometimes.
Milo, I think the Bloop is a crazy ancient ocean creature. I do not think he speaks to people.
Well, we have conversations all the time.
What, Milo, what does he say? I've only ever heard him roar.
He says, "Hello, Milo. My name is the Bloop."
Okay, Milo, I do not think that's true. The Bloop can't speak.
Well, he does. And if you don't believe me, well, I guess you're missing out.
Oh my gosh, Milo, this is so crazy. You're really hearing voices, and you're thinking that the Bloop is talking to you, which I promise he is not. Okay, trust me, once I win this thing, I'm gonna show you that the Bloop is dangerous once and for all, and that you should trust me when I say these things are super scary.
Yeah, well, last time I trusted you, I broke my foot.
Wait, what? Oh, Milo, you're really thinking about that now?
Yup, I was not very happy.
Milo, I didn't mean that. I had no idea that even though I tied balloons to it, the fridge would still be heavy.
Yeah, well, you said, "Hey, Milo, the fridge is fine to just go for a ride." And then I did, and I flew off, and I fell, and then I broke everything.
Oh my gosh, Milo, I'm sorry. I will not do that again. And hey, the good news is I am not building a fridge inside my Bloop house. He's actually a giant fish ocean monster, so he cannot exactly use a human fridge.
And he's got nice big teeth.
What? No, Milo, his teeth are not nice. I mean, they're certainly big, and they are definitely teeth, but there's nothing nice about them. They're really dangerous, and they eat people.
Well, I'm building a lot of teeth right now in my big house.
Oh my goodness, Milo, you are so crazy. I'm building a lot of teeth as well, but wow, they are really, really terrifying. And you know what? I'm even gonna make some of the teeth spiky because the Bloop has actual spiky teeth. They are insane. Oh my goodness, this is so scary. Even just building it, I'm freaking out right now. You need to make sure you do not let this thing come anywhere near you. And I know no matter what I say, you're still gonna want to be its friend, right?
Yeah, definitely. We're gonna be besties forever. Even better friends than you and me.
Wait, what? Milo, that's not possible. We're best friends.
Yeah, not anymore. That Bloop, he's my bestie now. And maybe we'll even be besties forever.
What, Milo? You are not going to be BFFs with an evil ocean creature. That sounds insane.
Well, I'm doing it, aren't I?
Yeah, I guess, but wait, no, you're not doing it. Milo, the Bloop is not your friend. You just think that for some reason.
Wait till you see the house that I'm building. You might even want a Bloop house when you're seeing this.
Oh, Milo, trust me, if there's any house in this competition that is gonna make somebody want to have a Bloop house, it's the one I'm building right now. It is looking so crazy, and I've barely built any of it. I've only built the Titanic and a little bit of the mouth section of the Bloop. I have not even made the eyes or the rest of the teeth or the inside of the body. It is already looking crazy, and whoa, it is only going to look crazier and crazier when I'm done with it. I'm gonna build extra rows of teeth. Not a lot of people know this, but the Bloop actually has multiple rows of teeth going further and further back into his mouth. It is pretty terrifying, and whoa, it makes him look so much more powerful.
Wow, I just built his eyeballs.
What? Milo, you're already building your Bloop's eyes? Haven't you had to spend the whole time building teeth?
Yeah, I already did that.
Wait, Milo, if you've already built all of your teeth, then that means whatever your build is, it is probably not as crazy as mine.
Well, it is very crazy, and it's also enormous.
Oh, Milo, if you've already built the eyes, then you are not building as big as I am because I'm barely done with my build. I really hope I can get this done before the 5-minute timer runs out. Otherwise, I will not have completed my bloop house and the bloop will go over to you, which means that he will try and eat you, Milo. I don't want that to happen. You would totally upset his stomach and then he would probably barf all over me, and he's so big that if he barfs, it'd make a tsunami.
No, you've got it all wrong. We're actually gonna be friends, and we're probably gonna make pizzas later.
Pizza? Okay, that actually sounds nice, but Milo, what would the bloop even put on a pizza?
Like seaweed and some seashells.
What? Milo, does the bloop not like anchovies?
Yes, he does like those ones.
Wow, but Milo, that's a normal pizza topping. You do realize that seashells are not something people put on their pizza.
Yeah, well, obviously, because the bloop is not a human boy.
Well, yeah, it's not a human girl either, Milo. The bloop is just a weird ocean creature. I have no idea what the bloop is.
Yeah, why are you calling him weird? That's kind of mean, low-key.
Yeah, Milo, I would never call a human weird, but the bloop is not a human. He's a giant evil fish creature. I could call the bloop a lot of things. Weird is actually putting it nicely.
Well, I can't think of one thing that he's done that was mean to me, except he just showed himself in the lake.
Well, Milo, that's because he hasn't eaten you yet, because you've always been on dry land. We're in the ocean right now, and if you try and go near him with your house, he will definitely try and eat you.
Well, that's not very good, but I just truly don't believe that's going to happen.
Oh my gosh, Milo, this is so silly. Trust me, I will definitely prove to you that the bloop is dangerous, and one of the ways I'm gonna do that is by making sure my build looks terrifying. The real bloop is so freaky. I cannot believe you don't agree. I'm gonna make sure I build the rest of this bloop absolutely huge. I'm gonna give him a giant shark body. On it, I'm also gonna make sure I add a bunch of shark fins as well. Sharks normally have huge fins, but I don't even know if the bloop is technically a shark. The bloop's fins are really, really long. They are absolutely gigantic, and I'll need to make them. First though, I think I need to make the bloop's eyes. The bloop has empty black eyes. There is nothing else in there except void. It is actually really, really scary. I'll need to make sure I place the eyes right here like this, and whoa, that actually looks really, really freaky. Oh my goodness, he kind of looks like a frog now. Oh boy, I better make sure I add an extra little bit of gray concrete like that, and okay, this is looking a lot more like the bloop. I'm gonna make the eyes a little bit closer to the center, but this is really just making the bloop look more and more friendly and silly. The bloop is not friendly and silly. He is evil and soulless, and hang on a second. I think I know exactly where to put the eyes. I'm gonna put the eyes on the side of the bloop, just like this. Oh yeah, that looks really, really freaky. Now I can get rid of these black concretes and I can just add them on the sides. This is way better. It is really coming across with how scary this guy is. I'm glad I decided to build it like this because otherwise it would not look right. And actually, I'm gonna move the eyes one block forward, just like this. This way they are way easier to see from the front, and oh my goodness, this bloop is looking totally terrifying. Now, I think I just need to make some gills. Let's use some iron bars for the gills, since this is just a really big version of the bloop. Here we go, we'll add the iron bars like this, and oh my goodness, this looks so crazy. We're really making a realistic bloop right now. He looks so freaky. I'm honestly a little scared of this build, and it's not even done yet. Imagine how terrifying it will be once we complete this bloop. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're gonna add more iron bars here on the other side. That way the bloop has gills on both sides, and not just one. If the bloop only had gills on one side, then I don't think he'd be able to breathe very well, and he would probably not last long in the ocean. The ocean can be pretty dangerous. It can also be pretty nice, but not with the bloop in it. The bloop is really, really freaky. He's why I don't go swimming anymore, and I really liked swimming. I used to go all the time. I was the best snorkeler in the entire village, but then one day the bloop came and he kind of just ate all the fish. It was really not nice. I'm still angry at him about that.
Chip, that is not true!
What? Milo, how do you think the fish disappeared?
No, not that part. I'm talking about the part where you're the best snorkeler.
What, Milo? I was definitely the best snorkeler in the whole village. You can ask anyone, and they'll definitely agree with me.
Well, I think I was better.
Milo, you didn't even snorkel. You just bubbled on the top of the water with a straw in your mouth blowing bubbles.
That's pretty much snorkeling.
No, Milo, snorkeling is when you have a snorkel and goggles, and you look at the fish under the water. It's actually really cool.
Well, I invented my own thing, and it's called bubbling then.
Okay, Milo, bubbling is not snorkeling, and it was fun. I sometimes bubble when I drink things. I just blow bubbles into them, and it's so silly.
Yeah, the bubbles are awesome, and they tickle my mouth.
Yeah, I just try not to do it sometimes, because some people definitely get annoyed by it.
Yeah, like my parents.
Yeah, me too, Milo. Oh my goodness. That's why I do not blow bubbles in my drinks anymore, but you can totally blow bubbles in the ocean if you want. Just be safe, and make sure you do not swim anywhere near the bloop.
Yeah, well, the bloop and me, blow bubbles into the ocean later.
Wait, what? Milo, did they even make straws big enough for the bloop to blow bubbles through?
Yep, and you're not invited.
Oh, okay, thanks, Milo. I would not want to be invited on a swim trip with the bloop. Thank you for sparing my life, actually.
We're gonna go visit the lost city of Atlantis.
Milo, do you know the reason Atlantis got lost in the first place?
Why?
It's because the bloop ate their compass. Now they can't see anywhere, and he also ate their maps as well.
That's such a funny prank. See, I knew the bloop was a prankster just like me.
Wait, Milo, do you think that was a prank? I don't think that was a prank. That was an evil sea monster eating things. Just because you think it's funny doesn't mean it was a prank.
Well, I think it was a prank, and I think you're wrong.
Oh my goodness, Milo, I sometimes forget how crazy you are, but the bloop is even more insane. Oh boy, trust me, I'm gonna show you by building my bloop house really scary. Once you see it, you'll realize that the bloop is not your friend, and he's actually super dangerous. Just trust me on this one.
Well, I'm currently just starting on the kitchen, that's late.
Wow, Milo, you've really moved ahead quickly. I need to move ahead quickly too. I'm gonna catch up to you now. The body of the bloop is looking really complete now, but I think before I go any further, I need to start making the inside. Otherwise, I just won't have any space to add anything. All right, the first room here needs to be some sort of kitchen. I really think this kitchen could be super cool. We need to make sure there's enough space in here to cook enough food that the bloop will really like. The bloop loves to eat fish and seashells and seaweed pizza apparently, but that means we need to have a big kitchen. If we can cook enough things that the bloop likes, then the bloop should really prefer this house over Milo's. The inside of this place is also huge, definitely big enough to fit the actual bloop in it himself. Wow, this is so insane. I never thought I would be building a house for a giant sea monster, but I guess here we are. Here we go. Now, inside of this house, we will have a giant area. It's crazy that the only way to get inside here is to climb and parkour up the teeth. That is crazy. I've never seen a house with that before, other than maybe another crazy one that I built, but this is probably an even more insane one. This is one of the most terrifying creatures ever. The bloop should not be messed with. That is why we really need to make sure we keep it away from everyone that we love, including you, Milo. If the bloop gets to you, then you'll totally get eaten. I know how silly you can be sometimes, and you would definitely forget to be careful.
Why are you stressing out so much, Tip? It's not even a big deal. You know what I think?
What do you think, Milo?
I think you're just jealous because I'm gonna have another friend other than you.
What? Milo, you have lots of friends, and they're all equally as crazy as the bloop, but none of them are as dangerous as him. I totally want you to have friends, just not really be friends with a giant evil fish monster, that's all.
You don't like the bloop, and I don't like you.
What? Milo, that's so mean. You don't like me? I thought we were best friends.
Nope, not anymore. That's what the bloop is doing. He's gonna be my new best friend.
Okay, Milo, he's a giant evil fish, and he only knows how to play one game.
What's the game?
Well, it's go fish, and in terms of go fish, he means go fish you because you're his meal, Milo.
Oh, don't you say that!
Okay, sorry, Milo, I won't say that. I'll just think it to myself. Is that okay?
Yes, keep it to yourself while I build my beautiful bloop house.
Oh my gosh, I just placed a fridge inside of the bloop, and look, there's a bird image on the fridge. That means that the bloop totally wants to eat Milo. Look, this is not just a fish kitchen, it's also a Milo kitchen. Oh my gosh, I cannot tell Milo this. He would freak out. I still need to convince him that the bloop is evil though. I guess my only choice now is to build this house perfectly, so that even the bloop would pick this over Milo's house. I just need to make sure I do not do anything wrong. If I do, then the bloop will be tempted by Milo's offer of a giant fresh birdie to eat, because Milo's basically offering himself up at this point. Oh my goodness, Milo is so crazy. This has got to be the only way I can do this. I'm gonna add some more kitchen drawers over here so that we can make more things in the kitchen. I'm also gonna get some item frames, and inside the item frames, I'm gonna put down some fish. We'll use some tropical fish and some puffer fish, and wait a minute, there's even some fish trophies on the wall. That's way better than item frames. Oh, this is great. We'll put a little fishy here, and oh, they look so cute. Poor fish, I do not think they know they're about to be eaten. I'll do a silverfish as well, and a puffer fish, and actually, instead of a silverfish, I'll just do more tropical fish. These tropical fish look awesome. Wow, this is so cool. I'll also do some more puffer fish here, and okay, we can have 2 silverfish. Just look at that. This looks amazing. Now, I think this room is looking pretty good, but we're gonna need to do a little bit more. We're going to need to grab some white concrete and add it to the floor. This is to make the classic kitchen checkerboard pattern. Oh yeah, just look at that. This looks awesome. It also doubles because it kind of looks like a row of really sharp, incredibly tiny teeth, at least from the front. From the inside, it just looks like squares, because that's what it is. Here we go. Now we'll also need to make sure we place a roast turkey, because this will scare Milo. Milo's gonna see this and see another bird being eaten by the bloop. Hopefully it's enough to make him realize that the bloop really is not his friend. I'm also gonna place some end rods up in the ceiling here, and I think I'm even gonna grab some concrete fences. That way we can place down some concrete like this, then a fence, and then some end rods. This will make it look like there is really sharp teeth hanging from the ceiling. I think the bloop will like it because it will remind him of teeth, which reminds him of dinner. But I think Milo will be terrified of it because it might make him realize that the bloop is an evil person-eating monster. I'm also gonna make sure I make all of these teeth really sharp, just like we did for the teeth in there. That way it might make the bloop look even more terrifying from the front. Oh boy, this is really crazy. I could not have imagined the bloop looking this scary when I first started building him, but he's turning out better than I ever thought he could. This is insane. I think I also should probably add a little bit more of a little ridge here. That way it's easily possible to walk up and you don't have to do parkour. Milo might see the difficult parkour and give up before he even sees the inside and realizes the bloop's not his friend. That would be terrible. And Milo would also probably try and go complain to the bloop and tell him about his day, because he really does think the bloop is his bestie. I can't believe that. Hopefully after this competition, Milo will realize that I've actually been his friend and I've been there for him all along. Oh yeah, I've got a great feeling about this, and the kitchen's looking pretty good too. Now, I think we need to build a giant room in here. Let's patch up some extra holes. We've got to do a lot of work to make this room into a seriously awesome place. It's got to be big enough to keep the bloop inside. That's the way we're going to keep the bloop away from Milo. We're going to make sure we trap him inside this build. But that will only work if the bloop really likes it. And if he does not like it, it won't work. Okay, this is really insanely cool. It's a super huge room, but it actually looks like the inside of my bloop statue's tummy. Oh my goodness, we're actually going to turn it into a giant aquarium, because just like how in the real bloop's tummy there's a lot of fish and shipwrecks, in this bloop's tummy it's going to look that same way as well. By using them as aquarium decoration, it makes it look like we are actually inside of the bloop's tummy. That is so funny, and I think we should also make sure the walls kind of look like we've just been eaten by the bloop. Oh yeah, let's do this thing. We can totally make this into the most epic aquarium ever. First, we're going to need to grab some pink terracotta, and then we're going to need to start placing it along the sides like this. If you're inside the bloop's tummy, it will not look gray on the inside. It'll actually look pink, because that is the color of the inside of his stomach, of course. Now, the bloop has a giant stomach. He actually does not have any other organs inside of him other than a tummy. He doesn't have anything because, well, he doesn't need to. He's a mythical creature, and all he needs to do to survive is eat. He does not need to breathe or sleep or do anything. That's why he doesn't even have a brain. He basically thinks with his stomach, and it's just as well, because his stomach is absolutely huge. We're going to fill the entire inside of this room with this pink color, and then we might even add some bones on the side, just to make it look like the real inside of a fish.
Hey, Chip.
What is it, Milo?
I have the best idea for the Halloween costume.
The Halloween costume? But that's ages away.
Yeah, not really. It's like, what, 3 months?
I don't know, but Milo, I'm a little scared to know what your Halloween costume idea is.
It's pretty much gonna be the Bloop.
What? The Bloop? Milo, who is the Bloop?
Bloop!
Oh, the bloop. But Milo, you can't go as the bloop for Halloween. He's a giant fish. You'll just be a tiny little fish if you go as him.
Yeah, well, he already said that I can go as him for Halloween.
That's weird. Milo, does that mean you'd have to wear the bloop like a costume?
No, I'm just gonna sew my own costume that looks like the Bloop.
Okay, Milo, I do not know if you'll be able to do that if you're sitting inside his tummy when he eats you secretly.
That is not going to happen. I don't really like your negativity, Chip.
Milo, it's not negativity. I'm just worried about you. I do not want my brother to be eaten by a fish. That's a really weird way for someone's brother to go.
Well, I don't think he's gonna eat me. I think he's gonna give me the handshake.
What? Milo, the bloop doesn't even have hands. He might give you a fin shake, though.
A fin shake? That would be so funny. Oh man, we can have a secret fin shake. Just me and the Bloop.
Yeah, Milo, I think his secret fin shake would be hitting you into his mouth and eating you. Oh my goodness. Nothing's really getting through to you with this bloop thing, is it?
Nothing, because we're actually gonna have such a fun time when he comes to visit my house. You know what I'm building?
What are you building?
Well, pretty much just a library so that I can teach him how to read.
Okay, Milo, I actually have a really important question.
Yeah, of course. Any question you you want to ask me.
What do your other friends think about this? What about Jip Jip? What does Jip Jip think of the bloop?
Well, me and Jip Jip haven't been friends lately, actually.
Wait, what? Milo, why are you and Jip Jip fighting?
Well, because he actually tricked me the other day.
Oh no, Milo, I've been telling you for ages, Jip Jip is really tricky.
He was trying to get me to eat the Vegemite, and I said, no thanks. And he said it tastes like Nutella, so I tried it, but it didn't taste like Nutella.
Oh my goodness, Milo, that's the oldest trick in the book. Vegemite does not taste like Nutella at all.
Well, no one told me that, and plus, Jip Jip pretty much lied.
Yeah, he did. I think it's really bad when you lie to your friends. Just like it's bad how the bloop is lying to you, Milo. I do not think the bloop wants to learn how to read. If he is somehow speaking to you, which I also don't believe, he might be telling you things that are lies.
Well, maybe if he learns how to read, he won't be so worried about eating stuff.
What? Milo, just because you know how to read doesn't mean you don't need to eat. Wait a minute, who told you that?
No one did. It's just a theory that came up in my brain.
Milo, just because you think of it doesn't mean it's true. Oh my goodness. Hey, I know how to read and I need to eat all the time. I actually really like eating, especially cookies. Those are my favorite.
You do not know how to read.
What? Milo, yes I do. I write you signs all the time and you always make me read things for you because you forget how to read.
Well, read one thing then and prove it.
Okay, let me just get a book here. This is the Sweeping Edge 3 book and it's an enchanted book and Sweeping Edge is its ingredients.
Nah, you're totally making that up.
What? Oh my goodness, Milo, I'm not making that up. You are so tricky. Okay, once I win this competition and the bloop is trapped forever, I'll teach you how to read because, wait a minute, how would you teach the bloop how to read in your library if you can't even read yourself?
Well, actually, happy birthday, Chip. I learned how to read.
What? Milo, it's not my birthday. That's a while away. What do you mean?
Well, I just learned to read for a present to you.
Aw, thanks, Milo. That's really, really nice. I'm very impressed. Okay, why don't you read something?
Okay, I'm gonna read something right now.
Okay, I'm really excited and I'm waiting.
Okay, I did it.
What? Milo, no, you need to prove it. You gotta read it aloud. Otherwise, it's just thinking.
I just read it in my head.
Oh my goodness, Milo, you are definitely lying. That means you're out of your mind. Just like how you're out of your mind if you think the bloop is gonna be your friend. Trust me, once I'm done building this room that I'm building right now, you will not have to deal with the bloop again. And oh yeah, this room is looking so epic. I'm gonna add even more pink terracotta and I've actually almost finished placing it all. Once I place the rest of this pink terracotta, I'll be able to start placing in the bones. Then it will really look like the inside of a giant fish. Let me say that. And okay, now it is time. I'll place 2 bones going all the way up here. This is gonna be the bloop's spine. It is really, really big and it's actually crazy looking. I've never been inside a giant fish before, so this is a real new experience for me. I'm not a fan of it. I do not like it so far, but hey, maybe it'll end up being nicer. I do not think so though. This is already really, really freaky. Okay, now we'll make the spine go all the way along the bloop's back like this. Here we go. This is actually looking a lot like a spine. Oh my goodness. Now we need to make sure that this reaches all the way to the end, just like this. Oh yeah, this is looking pretty promising. I'm really happy with how this is looking so far. It needs to look realistic, like the inside of the actual bloop stomach. Hey, maybe when the bloop goes inside here, he'll see that it's actually not exactly fun to be inside of a giant fish's tummy. He's never been inside of a fish's tummy before because he's too big. He can't be eaten by anything else in the ocean. Not even a blue whale could eat the bloop. The bloop is 10 times bigger than a blue whale, which is pretty insane. Here we go. I'll make the spine 3D. By making it stick out, we make it look really, really cool. Oh yeah, this is looking super epic so far, but we now need to add the little ribs going off the spine. Here we go. We'll add the ribs here like this, and they'll need to go pretty far down. I think each rib could have a different level that it sticks inwards. Okay, this one's looking pretty good. We'll make it a little bit rounded on the edges like this, just so it feels really crazy like you're inside an actual giant fish. Oh my goodness, this is one of my worst nightmares. I do not want to be swallowed by a giant shark in real life. That would be so terrifying. I don't even think I'd be able to get out, and I would probably not be able to breathe either because fish and sharks do not breathe oxygen. They only breathe water, and I don't actually have gills. I would not be able to breathe underwater. So even if I was able to escape the fish or the shark that ate me, I would need to swim all the way to the surface, and I do not know if I could make it in time. Oh my goodness, I'm getting worried just thinking about this, but I'm getting even more worried knowing that I'm not the only one that's at risk of getting eaten by a giant thing today. If Milo becomes friends with the bloop will definitely eat him. Oh my goodness, this has happened so many times before. I do not know why Milo hasn't learned by this point. Every single time he becomes friends with a giant evil monster, they always end up eating him. I think we need to really teach Milo a lesson. Maybe before we teach Milo to read, we should teach him not to let things eat him. Oh my goodness, okay, this is going pretty good so far, even though this is really scary and I need to make sure we build this right before Milo gets eaten by the bloop. It's still looking really good on its own. I think we should now continue making the bones that make up the ribcage of the bloop because this is looking so much like the inside of him. This is actually insane. Even though I've never been eaten by a fish before, I think this is basically what it would feel like. Okay, now I just need to keep building these spines. This is looking so crazy. What, Milo? Why are you saying well? Are you coming up with a devious plan?
Just a little bit, but it's not very devious. It's actually really nice.
Oh, really? Milo, what's your nice plan? I'm actually really excited to hear it.
I'm building the nicest little fishy bed for my friend the bloop.
Okay, Milo, the bloop is not your friend, and wait, a fishy bed? What's a fishy bed?
Well, it's a lovely little area that's very soft with lots of coral and sea pickles and a little bit of water.
Wait, Milo, coral is not soft. Coral is like a rock. Oh my goodness, are you making a bed out of coral?
Well, for the bloop, the coral is nice and soft.
Oh yeah, that's true. I guess since the bloop can tear through entire ships, then the coral would probably be pretty soft to him, since the bloop himself is basically indestructible.
Yeah, exactly. So you understand.
What? No, Milo, I just think the bloop is insanely strong. I don't think that makes him good or like friend material.
Well, the seagrass, at least in the bed, is very lovely and soft.
Yeah, Milo, is that because you like to take naps in it?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, Milo, you can't be taking naps next to the bloop. What if he rolls over on you in your sleep and you get crushed?
That simply would not happen. That is very silly.
Oh, okay, yeah, I guess that wouldn't happen because he might try to eat you as a midnight snack first.
Hey, that's not happening, Chip. He's not eating any people that are people.
What? Milo, you're not a person, you're a bird.
Yeah, well, he's not eating the birds either.
Yeah, Milo, that's because he's currently out in the ocean. If he comes over here, I know one bird that he will be very close to that he might end up eating, and I do not think you want to know what bird I mean.
Me and the bloop know each other better than you know anything.
What? Milo, I know lots of things so well, and you've just met the bloop today, right?
Yeah, exactly, and we're best buddies.
Wait a minute, Milo, if you know the bloop better than anything, why were you calling him Nessie earlier?
Next question.
Oh my gosh, Milo, you just got exposed. That is so funny. Okay, knowing that you do not know the bloop that well, I think I have a real big advantage. You don't even know that he's dangerous, so I think I'm definitely gonna make the most bloop-friendly house to trick him into being trapped here.
Yep, I got a big, serious question.
Oh, okay, what's the big, serious question, Milo?
Do you think the bloop would need a microwave?
No, Milo, I don't think the bloop would need a microwave. The bloop only eats raw fish and I guess seaweed and seashells on pizza like you said.
Well, I'm just gonna give him a microwave to be safe.
Yeah, okay, I guess you can do that, but Milo, how would the bloop even use a microwave? He has fins, not fingers.
Well, I have feathers and I can still use the microwave.
Milo, no you can't. I told you to microwave something the other day and you just put it in the microwave and started humming to it because you couldn't get it to turn on.
Well, I thought the humming sound was what the microwave does, so if I did it, maybe I would cook the food as well.
Well, yeah, the microwave does make a humming noise, but that's just what it sounds like when it cooks. That's not actually how it cooks the food.
Well, who was gonna tell me that?
Me, Milo, I told you exactly as you were doing it, but you were just humming too loud, you couldn't hear me.
Yeah, I never listen to you.
Yeah, no, and it always ends up badly. Oh my gosh, okay, Milo, trust me. I'm gonna show you this time, once and for all, that you should probably listen to me when it comes to stuff like this. I just know my stuff.
No, you don't. You don't even know what the thing is.
What? Milo, what's the thing?
Exactly. See, that's what I'm talking about.
Milo, you didn't even say what you were talking about, and oh my gosh, okay, you really have lost your mind. This is insane. Luckily, I've not lost my mind. I've actually been working really hard on this build, and to show for it, I've managed to finish the inside of this room. Now I just need to place the spine at the very other end like this. That's just because this is not the final room inside of my bloop. Here we go. This is the biggest room in the bloop though. Oh my goodness, this is looking so crazy. Here we go. Now that I've made the inside of this giant fishy spine, I'm gonna place down some pink terracotta like this to seal off the room. Oh my goodness, I cannot actually believe this is happening. Here we go. Once we place these final pink terracotta blocks, we will actually be able to build the inside of this bloop aquarium. It is going to look so insanely crazy. Here we go. We'll add white concrete doors here, and I think we'll also do them right over here. Oh my goodness, just look at that. Although, actually, here we go. We'll also put framed glass doors here. This way, you'll be able to see that you are entering an aquarium. Whoa, this already looks so crazy and insane, but it's not exactly an aquarium until we can fill the whole thing in with water. Let's place down a bunch of water buckets like this. We need to go all the way around. It's going to be a little bit more difficult to place down all this water with all these little bones sticking out. It makes it a lot harder for the water to fill in with itself, but whoa, it's still doing a really good job. This is amazing. Now, if we just place more water in these little grooves here, it should get easier and easier with every single level of this giant bloop build to fill in the water. Oh wow, this is already going so quickly. We'll be done with this in no time, and then we'll be able to add the seriously awesome decorations inside of this bloop. Whoa, we are going really quickly, and oh wow, when it's halfway filled, it really does look like an aquarium. I actually think we should not fill this all the way to the top. That way, in case anybody gets stuck in this room, they will be able to swim up to the surface. It'll be like a nice little air pocket inside of this giant, horrifying monstrosity of a house. Okay, this is really exciting. I also do need to make sure that the water can go above these door levels, because otherwise you'd be swimming to them and you wouldn't even be able to get inside. That would be really dangerous, especially if this is where we're keeping the bloop inside. We gotta place this water and we gotta do it quick. Okay, this is looking absolutely incredible. I think that's definitely enough water, but we now need to make actual sand inside of this place. Here we go. We'll only use little bits because I do not want it to cover the ribs. This needs to still be the clear inside of the bloop's stomach, so we do not want to add too much sand. Luckily, the bloop does actually eat sand. That's mostly when he's eating entire shipwrecks though, so I guess it's not all a win. For every shipwreck that you see, there were probably a bunch of pirates that got stranded at sea from it. Oh, poor pirates. Luckily, I do not think they're here anymore, so they won't know exactly what it's like to be inside the bloop's stomach. Here we go. This is looking really crazy with all the sand. Now, I think we need to start placing some actual decorations. I think in order to turn this into an aquarium, we should probably bone meal the ground. Then it would add some seagrass in here. Oh wow, this looks crazy. Now being inside of a giant bloop stomach doesn't feel so insane. Here we go. Because we've added the seagrass, it feels a little bit more normal, but now that means we need to add some fish bones. If we place the bone block structure in a little bit of a shape like this, we should be able to make it look like there's just been a fish that's been eaten by the bloop. Oh my goodness, this is gonna look so crazy. Here we go. This fish needs to look really realistic, like an actual fish that's just been eaten. Okay, I think this is looking pretty good so far, but we really need to nail the shape of this fish's head. We do not want to accidentally build it wrong. Okay, this is looking pretty good. No, it's not. This is looking ridiculous. Oh no, if I cannot make this in time, then I'll totally fail. Oh boy, I do not want that to happen. Here we go. We'll start placing more bones for the spine of this little fishy skeleton. Okay, this is starting to look pretty good. We need to make it clear that it is a fish though, otherwise it'll just look like a random skeleton in here. Okay, here we go. I've now got the little spine of the fish done, and I think it's looking pretty good, but we need to make sure that this fish looks really realistic. It does look a little strange with the head tilted up, but if I think I do this, oh, it actually looks really sweet. Poor fishy. It's so sad to know that so many different fish have lost their lives to the bloop. Oh my goodness, not anymore though. Once we keep this bloop locked up inside of here, I think every fish will be safe. Here we go. Now we'll also need to add, I think other little item frames, and we're gonna fill these with bones. That's because the bloop does not just eat the fish. He also leaves their bones, and I do not know why. It is really scary, but it means that the inside of the bloop is like a fish bone graveyard. Oh my goodness, it is so creepy in here already, but we need to add even more things. I think we need to add some coral in here. Oh yeah, this is looking great. A lot of the coral will sadly be dead coral though. That's because coral doesn't do too well when you keep it inside of a giant fish. It's pretty weird how that happens, but I guess it does make sense. Here we go. Now we'll place even more coral like this. Whoa, this looks really good. The scary looking dead coral would work really well with a red coral though. That's why we've got the fire corals right here. Oh my goodness, that looks crazy. It really looks like a freaky inside of a fish right now. We can also have some of the dead corals growing on the sides just like this, which, whoa, that actually looks really freaky. Let's add even more of it on the sides here. Oh yeah, this is looking so good. I cannot believe that the inside of a giant fish monster is looking this incredibly well decorated right now. I'm very proud. Here we go. We'll add a couple more little coral fans near the entrance like this. Oh yeah, this is looking so creepy. It needs to be pretty open in here since otherwise the bloop would probably not be able to fit. Oh my goodness, that would be so silly if the bloop couldn't fit, but the bloop also does like to have a bunch of fish around him. That's why we are going to spawn a bunch of tropical fish down. We'll do a bunch of them like this, and then we'll also do a bunch from the buckets. That way the tropical fish come from so many different places. That way we might even have a chance to get every kind of tropical fish in here. That way, no matter what kind the bloop feels like playing with or eating, he will be able to do it. The bloop could be crazy like that. We have no idea, and whoa, this fish tank is looking amazing. Let's add a bunch more tropical fish from these buckets like this, and whoa, there's 3 of the same kind? That is so rare. Wow, I cannot believe this. This is so incredible. Now let's spawn even more. There need to be so many tropical fish inside this tank. We can't even believe it. Unless there are that many, this will not be the perfect tank. Oh yeah, this is looking incredible. There's actually a lot of fish. It's actually wild how many there are, but it's going to be even more wild how well we decorate this next room. This room is going to be the Bloop's favorite. At least I hope so. That's because this room is going to be a Bloop bedroom. It's going to be pretty big, but I don't know if the Bloop will spend much time in here. I have a feeling the Bloop will probably be completely trapped inside the aquarium room, so he might not exactly have much time for swimming around or doing any sleeping. Oh my goodness, this would be so funny if it actually works. I'd be so relieved as well. Milo would not be able to get in my Bloop house because he'd probably be scared by the teeth. Then again, he does really like the original Bloop, so I don't know. Maybe this won't be enough to scare him. Hopefully our build of the giant Titanic collapsing will actually be scary enough. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is actually looking pretty good so far, but we need to continue building this bedroom. That's why I'm not going to get just one bed. No way, that is not big enough at all. We're going to need to grab a bunch of beds and some carpets too. Let's also grab some slabs as well, and of course we need to use the smooth quartz. Those are my favorite after all. We're going to make the bed big and blue, just like the Bloop, except he's not really fully blue. He's kind of a strange grayish color. Either way, we still need to make sure we do this right. Here we go. Now the bed is looking really cool. We'll place a little carpet row here. Oh wow, this is looking absolutely incredible. I hope it's big enough to fit the Bloop though. The Bloop can be really huge. He probably will be way too big for this bed, but that's okay. I think as long as Milo sees that the Bloop is huge and is not small enough to be his friend, I think he might realize that his friendship with the Bloop is a little insane. Let's also get some bookshelves here where we can put some books about how you should always be safe in the ocean and never become friends with giant evil fish creatures. Yep, Milo could definitely serve to read those. It would help him a lot. I also think Milo could really benefit from learning how to read. Everybody knows the Bloop is evil, and you especially know it if you can read, and can read any book about how scary the Bloop is. Basically, every book about ocean exploring mentions him. He's pretty well known. I wish Milo knew how to read. Then we wouldn't even be in this mess. Milo would not be trying to build the Bloop a house, and he would not be trying to be the Bloop's friend. That is the most ridiculous thing I have ever heard. Oh, one day I know me and Milo are gonna laugh about this, and we'll all realize how silly Milo can be. I just hope one day Milo realizes it too. One thing that is not silly is the design of this bookshelf. It looks really cool actually. Whoa, it looks super duper modern and epic. Now we're also gonna make sure this entire room looks pretty modern and epic. We're gonna add a plant in the corner just like this. Whoa, that looks amazing. Let's also grab some jungle slabs to wrap around the plant. This is about to look so epic, and whoa, I think I was definitely right about it looking super epic. This looks amazing. Let's make a couple more of these little plant designs around. I think the Bloop will really like it. It kind of reminds me a little bit of kelp on the ocean floor. The Bloop is always swimming through kelp. It's actually one of the biomes where it's easiest to spot him. This will really remind the Bloop of home, and it might make him a lot more comfortable sleeping in here. We really want the Bloop to be able to sleep in here so that he cannot escape and has no reason to even try and leave. If the Bloop stays here forever, then Milo is safe forever, which is a win in my book. Oh my goodness.
Chip!
What is it, Milo?
What is your favorite sushi?
Oh, that's a really good question. I think my favorite is definitely tuna, because it's the fanciest.
Okay, noted.
Wait, what, Milo? Why are you asking?
I guess you're gonna find out later. Let's just say that.
Oh, Milo, I'm a little worried. Have you built a weird sushi restaurant or something?
No.
Oh, okay, Milo, you sound really suspicious. That makes me think that you have.
No, I haven't. I swear.
Okay, Milo, you better be honest right now, because otherwise I'm gonna be really mad. But okay, I trust you. I trust that you are not lying to me right now at all.
Honesty!
Yeah, exactly. Honesty is the best policy. Here we go. This is looking really good. And I'll even have bedside lamps that the Bloop can turn on and off. The Bloop might be a sea monster, but he still might be scared of the dark. I'm also going to grab some plushies. And what are some plushies the Bloop would like? Oh, I know. Some squids, glow squids, and dolphins. Those all look amazing. And we can even grab some guardians. I know the Bloop's enemy is the guardian because he's always attacking them. That way we'll have a little guardian plush for the Bloop to play with whenever he's mad. And we'll have some nice squids and dolphin plushes for the Bloop to be be happy. This is looking like a really cool room, actually. I like it a lot, but there is still another room we need to make. Oh my goodness, this room is about to be so exciting. We'll need to extend this part of the bloop outwards a little bit, and then we'll need to angle it downwards. That is because we are still building this part of the bloop, but I have a really good idea for what we can make this area into. We need to make an underwater observation room. That's pretty important for my plan. This underwater observation room will help Milo see the bloop for who he truly is, a crazy fish monster, not his friend. Oh my goodness, if this observation room is not clear enough to show Milo that the bloop is a monster, I do not think anything will. I really hope this works, and I hope we can make the observation room pretty cool looking. We're going to make it look like an actual bloop tail. That would be so insane. I think Milo would really find that crazy. Hopefully he's scared of it. If this doesn't scare Milo, I'd be really worried and pretty sad, actually. I have a feeling that it will scare him though, so I've got a really high hope about this. Oh my goodness, we've made this tail go so far down, but I think now we need to make the tail go even further. We'll build the actual fins on the back of the tail, and we've got to be very careful. The bloop looks like a shark, and it has a bit of a shark tail. That means we need to build the fins facing in this direction. Dolphins and sharks actually have different fins. The dolphins' fins go up and down, but sharks go from side to side. That is really important to remember, and it's so important to remember now while we are building the actual bloop. Oh my goodness, okay, we're going to need to make sure we build this fin really well. This is where most of the observation area will be. The fin is also going to be really thick. That's because the bloop is so strong. The fin is basically entirely muscle. That's how he can swim so quickly, even with his weirdly shaped mouth. Most fish shaped like the bloop would swim really slow. That's actually why the swordfish has a super pointy nose and can go so fast. The sword helps it glide through the water, but the bloop is kind of the opposite. That's why the super muscly tail really helps. Okay, this is really looking scary. We need to make sure we build this fin super duper thick on both sides. That includes this one. Luckily, it's going really well. Then we can add glass to the sides of the fin to make it into a real observation deck. We'll also add glass along these sides, but I think we'll focus mainly on adding the glass on the sides where the flat bits are. That way it'll look way cooler, and it might even look like he has a transparent fin. That would be so amazing. There are actually some fish that have that, but they're really rare, and a lot of them live very deep down in the ocean. Luckily, so does the bloop. He actually lives near the very bottom of the sea and the very top of the sea, and the bloop can actually live in most parts of the sea. This glass is not looking very good. We're going to need to grab some framed glass. This is also important because it's way thicker and stronger than regular glass. It doesn't just give a better view, it also gives you way more protection against things like, I don't know, the bloop. The bloop is so crazy. You definitely need strong glass if you're gonna look at the bloop underwater. Oh boy, this could go really badly if we're not careful. Luckily, I am a pretty careful guy, so I think it might still end up going well. I just hope Milo gets the memo. Otherwise, Milo will actually just jump out of this observation area and try to swim to his friend. He does not realize that the bloop is not his friend, which is crazy. I've told him so many times. At this point, I do not think Milo is listening. All we can do is try and trap the bloop and show Milo that this is the way to go. This is looking really good with the glass, but now we just need to make sure we place the rest of this little concrete at the bottom here. We've got to make sure an entire layer of it goes across the bottom of the fins. That's because this concrete is going to be what makes up the floor of the observation room. Okay, this is looking pretty good like this, but we also need to make sure we build these little bits at the edge. Whoa, this shape is looking really convincing, like an actual shark fin. We're going to make the frame glass go slightly down in the corners just because we need to make it look like it's a pattern that goes all the way along like that, and whoa, that's looking really realistic. Let's also make sure we add the glass in the corners here like this, because otherwise we would totally forget and it would look really silly without it. Oh yeah, this is looking so good. Let's make sure we continue adding this concrete all the way around, and then we'll be done building the fins. Wow, I cannot believe we're already so close to being finished. One thing we have not finished though is the top part of this bloop. Once we finish this room, we'll need to go back and work on it because there is a couple more things I think we should really add. Okay, and done! Yes, we finally managed to place all of the concrete inside the observation room, and whoa, this is a crazy view from here, but oh my goodness, it's still so cloudy. That means we need to grab some sponge and clear out all the remaining water from in here. Okay, this is gonna go really quickly because it's such a a small room, right? There cannot be that much water left in here. And okay, this is going really, really fast. Faster than I even expected. In no time, we'll have all the water out of here. Oh, this is great. And here's the final few sponge blocks now. Wow, all the water is officially gone from the observation room. Now, I just need to destroy this small amount of sponges. This is already looking great. And whoa, now that the water is gone, the view is so much clearer. This is insane. I'm actually a little scared in here. This feels like I'm in a shark tank just waiting for the bloop to swim up and get me. Oh boy, we better make sure we add some fish around for the bloop to see. That way it will be less likely to see us and it'll just get distracted first. I really hope that's how it works at least. All right, here we go. Now we'll also need to place down some slime blocks here so that when we jump down, we don't exactly take damage. Here we go. The slime blocks will go right here like this. Okay, this is looking pretty cool actually. Now we also need to make sure that we add a ladder. That way we will actually be able to get back up and it won't just be a total drop that we cannot return from. That is not exactly how you make a good house, that's for sure. Okay, this is great. We'll make sure it's a double ladder so that there's plenty of space. I don't think the bloop will exactly go down here because it is air after all. The bloop can't exactly exist in the air. That is not healthy for the bloop at all, but this is still looking really good. We'll add some smooth quartz slabs at the back here like this just to make it into a stable dropping platform. We will leave a gap here though. That is where people will drop down and land on the slime. Okay, this is looking really, really cool, but I think we do need to add some sofas. Maybe even down here. Yeah, this is gonna look great. We'll make sure we curve the sofas like this and turn it into a really epic looking observation room. Whoa, this already looks so cool. I don't know if we should add some sofas on this end. If we do, we should make them a little bit smaller. That way they take up a lot less space and we can still see over the top of them. Yep, this looks a lot more sensible than the other one. All right, this is looking so good. Wow, the observation room really has an incredible view. But one thing that it does not have is fish. We still need to spawn them. Luckily, we have our trusty bucket of tropical fish here and we can spawn a bunch of them around the fin. Unfortunately, these fish will probably swim away, so we won't spawn as many. It would just be a waste of time because the bloop is still making its way towards us. Now, in our final moments before the bloop is set to arrive, we need to make sure we finish building the outside of this horrifying creature. We need to add giant fins here. These fins need to be so huge because the actual bloop fins are gargantuan. They are so massive. They can cut through entire ships in just one motion, and that's exactly what it's been doing. That's how so many ships have been destroyed by the bloop, and it's how this one that I built right now is destroyed by the bloop as well. Okay, this is looking really, really insane, but we need to clear out a little bit more of this ship area. That way, it's really clear that the bloop is the one destroying the ship, and it's not just resting his hand on the ship. That would just be silly. Okay, this is looking pretty terrifying. If I was the captain of a cruise ship or the captain of the Titanic, I would be so scared of this. Maybe the Titanic getting hit by an iceberg is just a myth, and it was actually gotten by the bloop. Oh boy, that would be really scary. I hope that's not true. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is looking really, really good right now though. This fin is looking terrifying. Oh boy, I would not want to be anywhere near this fin. I'd be shaking so much my bones would be rattling. Okay, luckily I am not really near a bloop like this. I'm actually safe on dry land, but this is still looking pretty cool. Okay, we'll make sure the fins go backwards in a pretty sharp motion like this. Whoa, that makes it look way more scary. Okay, this is really starting to look epic. Now we also need to make sure we build a giant fin up the back of the bloop here. This is what all sharks have. The bloop isn't exactly a regular shark, but he still has a giant dorsal fin. Okay, this fin needs to be so big and so scary looking. I think our entire build is depending on it. Oh boy, this cannot let the build down. If it does, I'll be pretty sad. Luckily, I have a pretty good feeling about this one. Okay, we'll make sure we link it up to the back of the bloop's neck. Then we'll need to make it go really, really high up. We'll just build it one thick for now, and then we can expand it to the other side soon. Okay, this is looking really, really crazy. That dorsal fin is so big. Oh my goodness, this is already scaring me, and I'm not even done with it. All right, here we go. We'll make it go even further back like this, and we'll give it a little bit more height. Wow, this is so freaky. I have never seen a giant fin like this before. If I saw this coming at me in the ocean, swimming like a shark under the waves, I would probably be terrified. I wouldn't exactly be able to move though, because this fin is so big that the waves that it makes are like a tsunami. I would probably be stuck, and any boat nearby would be sliced clean in half if this swam through it. Oh my goodness, just like this boat. It's already been cut in half, but I think we can destroy it even more to make the bloop look even more terrifying and destructive.
Chip!
What is it, Milo?
I've got one thing to say, and I don't think you're gonna like it.
What, Milo? If you don't even think I'm gonna like it, I'm even more scared, but okay, what is it that you have to say?
I don't even think the bloop is a shark. I think he's a friend.
What? But Milo, he is a shark. I thought you were friends with ocean creatures all the time. Isn't he a shark and your friend? Which is not true, but don't you think that?
No, there's actually a new species of animal called friend, and the bloop is that.
Milo, there is no such thing as a species called friend. Animals can be animals and friends. That's why dogs are called man's best friend.
No, I made it up, and I'm gonna believe it.
Oh my gosh, okay, I guess you can do that if you want, but Milo, it's still silly and you put yourself in a lot of danger. Besides, why is the bloop part of the friend species?
Because he's a big friend!
Milo, the bloop sure is big, but he is not a friend. Oh my goodness, if only you could see what I'm making so far. It looks so scary. You'll take one look at it and realize, oh wow, I was so wrong about the bloop and he's actually really terrifying.
I'm not wrong about anything, though.
What, Milo? You're wrong about things all the time. Remember the other day you said the earth was flat?
Yeah, because it looks flat.
No, Milo, the earth is very round. Oh my goodness, you are so silly, but that's okay. We just need to make sure we build these before the bloop comes. Milo, I am so worried that you will not be able to finish your build.
Yeah, well, I'm building as fast as I can, so I don't need you to stress me out.
Sorry, Milo, I'm not stressed. I'm just a little worried. What if you get destroyed by the bloop when he arrives?
Well, just kidding. I'm actually very confident that not only am I going to finish in time, but I'm gonna have a way better build than you.
Oh my goodness, Milo, you will not have a better build than me. There's no way that's even possible. The bloop will like my build more, and the bloop will also get stuck inside my build so that I can show you that he is really evil and not your friend.
Well, does your build even have a sick ride for the bloop to ride around in?
Wait, a sick ride? Milo, have you built a vehicle in your build?
Yeah, duh.
What, Milo, why would you do that? How could you even fit the bloop inside a vehicle?
Well, because he'll fit. I just know it. Plus, the bloop has places to go. He's a really busy guy.
Milo, he's not even a guy. He's a shark. And oh my goodness, I am really worried to find out what on earth you have made. It sounds absolutely crazy.
If crazy equals beautiful, then sure.
Okay, I believe you, but I think my build is even more beautiful and it's even less crazy. This is so insane though. Crazy and insane mean different things, and my build is definitely insane. Whoa, I'm just adding some carpets on the sides to make it look like the evil bloop has crazy lines on the side of his dorsal fin. It makes him look really, really scary and so intense. This is really, really exciting. I cannot believe how great this is looking though. Adding these extra little details has really given my bloop a crazy look, and I think it's actually perfect for what the bloop needs to look like in order to win this bloop house build competition. Okay, we have now built fins on every single side of the bloop, and he is looking absolutely terrifying. Now, as my final few moments before the bloop arrives, we need to set fire to this ship. That makes it look even more terrifying. The bloop can swim through the ocean with such strength and speed that he literally sets the wood on fire just from swimming through it. The bloop is so insanely strong like that. It is actually insane. Okay, this is looking pretty good, but now we just need to add some chunks of the Titanic breaking off. That makes the bloop look even more ridiculously strong. All right, here we go. We'll make sure that this looks like the bloop is literally bursting through the Titanic. Okay, we'll add some more red here like this. Then we'll need to add some more crumbly bits of metal that are breaking off like that. Okay, this is already looking pretty good, I think, but we'll need to add even more. Whoa, this already looks really good. This is looking a lot better than I thought it would, but we'll make sure we rotate the red so that it matches with the side of this little bit of concrete. Okay, this is looking great. Now we'll also need to make sure that we add a little bit more fire onto this part like this. Oh, wow, that is looking insane. Let's make sure we add the debris to this side of the boat as well. Oh no, we also need to make sure we add fire to this side of the boat as well, and we need to make sure we leave a little gap between the bloop and the boat. Otherwise, it'll look like the bloop and the boat are the same thing, which is not what we want. We need it to clearly look like the bloop is destroying the boat, which it definitely seems to be from this angle. Wow, this is looking so insane, but oh wait, I almost forgot to make the debris. Uh-oh, if we forgot to make the debris, we would not have completed this build. It would have looked different and strange and not exactly how I planned it at all. All right, this is looking good. We've broken even more of the boat. Now we need to make even more of this little shape like this. Oh yeah, this is looking really, really convincing. Just like the actual wreck of the ship would look if the bloop really did burst through it in real life. Okay, now we'll add even more floating metal to the surface of the sea. Oh my goodness, this is so crazy. It really does look like the bloop has just destroyed the boat. Wow, this build is looking really complete. I'm so happy with it, and whoa, the time is up. Milo, we need to stop building and go judge each other's bloop houses. Milo, this build is certainly looking something. What is this?
Well, this is just a little welcome mat for him to dry his fins on when he comes home.
But Milo, the bloop is wet. He doesn't want to dry his fins. He needs to swim with them. And Milo, this isn't even spelled right.
Well, it is spelled right in my brain.
Okay, Milo, that does not make it correct. And wait a minute, is this me?
Yep, that's right. You're pretty much getting eaten up by the bloop.
The bloop? But wait a minute, where is the bloop? Unless, hang on a second. Wow, you built the bloop.
The whole thing is actually the bloop.
Wow, that is pretty impressive. It's certainly very blue.
Yeah, very blue, just like the bloop.
Milo, why is there a car inside of your bloop?
Well, obviously, that's his vehicle, and he can drive it around.
Oh, okay, that's very impressive. And whoa, I'm driving it too. Okay, I better get off. I do not want to crash this thing.
Yeah, that was a little bit scary for a second there.
Yeah, it was. And hey, look, it's a kitchen, and there's a microwave that the bloop doesn't know how to use.
He will know how to use it after I show him.
Okay, but Milo, what are you even gonna make with your microwave in here?
Well, like some popcorn.
Oh, okay, that's actually not a bad idea. Wait a minute, Milo, what's this over here? It looks like, Milo, is this the sushi restaurant you told me you were not making?
Yes, this is a great sushi restaurant because the bloop likes eating fish after all, so he can get the fresh fish out of the tank, and the guy here can make it into sushi, I guess.
Whoa, you have a sushi chef in here? But wait a minute, Milo, that means the poor sushi chef is gonna be eaten by the bloop too.
No, he won't. The bloop only likes to eat the fresh, delicious sushi.
Sure, and people in boats as well, but Milo, this is a sushi restauranter.
That's how you spell restaurant, right?
No, Milo, it's not. Oh my goodness. And hey, is this a dining table?
Yeah, just the fanciest vibe for my friend the bloop.
Wow, I don't know if the bloop could fit into any of these chairs exactly, but I like the idea.
Yeah, well, this down here is actually my favorite part of the whole thing.
Whoa, it's an enchanting room. This is pretty cool, but Milo, I think what you did out there with me getting eaten by the bloop was actually really funny.
This is not an enchanting room.
Wait, what? Milo, what is this?
This is a library for him to learn how to read.
Oh, good luck with that, Milo. I do not think he could learn how to read. You didn't even spell the welcome at right, but I do like what you did on top of it with me getting eaten by the bloop. That is really hilarious.
Yeah, it's very silly. I'm a pretty funny guy when you give me a chance.
Yeah, even though you have no idea what the bloop is like and you clearly don't understand that he won't be able to fit in here, I still think this is such a clever detail that I think I'm ready to rate your build, and you're gonna like what I have to say.
But you haven't even seen the whole thing, Chip.
Wait, what? There's more?
Yeah, his bedroom.
Oh, okay, this is a crazy bed, Milo. It's not even inside the water, and oh my goodness, this is gonna take your score down a little bit, I have to be honest.
What? How? It's a beautiful little cozy bedroom for the bloopy, and he's got lots of soft things to sleep on, and plus there's even more.
Wait, what? Milo, how is there even more in here? And oh my goodness, is this what I think it is?
Yep, it's a trampoline bed for you and I to jump around on and have fun.
Aw, thanks, Milo. That's really nice, except if the bloop is here, I will not be going anywhere near this house. That is for sure.
Why? That's so rude.
Milo, the bloop is evil. I keep telling you this, and whoa, that is a big fin.
Yeah, that's his tail fin.
Whoa, very impressive. Okay, Milo, now that I've seen your bloop house, I think I'm ready to reveal my score.
What is your score?
Well, I thought this was so funny that you gained a bunch of points just from it, and I think I'm gonna give you a score of 4 out of 5.
Wow, that's actually pretty good. Thank you, Chip. I'm very proud of myself.
You're welcome, Milo, but now it is time for you to see inside of my bloop house.
Wow, this is gonna be really crazy. Let's see what you made.
This is my bloop house.
Chip,
What is it, Milo?
this is a little bit scary.
Yeah, Milo, it's a bloop house. The bloop is scary, and look, he's eating through the Titanic.
I'm in a little bit of shock from this because I can't believe he's actually smashing through the real Titanic.
Yeah, it is very impressive, and it shows you just how powerful and dangerous the bloop is.
Yeah, well, I still think he's nice.
What? No, Milo, he's not nice. Come on, let me show you. Inside of here, you'll need to enter through the giant open teeth of the bloop.
Those are pretty sharp teeth.
Yeah, Milo, the bloop does have really sharp teeth. He's insane. He's an ocean monster. And look, there's all these fish that the bloop has captured inside of here.
Oh, look at all these fishy boys and... Wait, is this Jimmy Bop?
I don't know. I didn't ask. It might be. But anyway, there's also a fridge here with, look, Milo, it's a picture of a birdie on it.
My fridge had that one as well.
Milo, don't you think that's a sign that the bloop likes to eat birds as well as fish?
No, I think it's a sign that he has a photo of his really good friend Milo in his fridge.
Milo, that's not even you. That's a different bird.
Yeah, well, it could be me.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I guess it is blue and it does have a yellow beak, but Milo, are you ready to see the grand room inside of this bloop house?
Yeah, but before we go, why is there a roast chicken here?
Well, Milo, a chicken is a type of bird, and I put it here because the bloop eats all kinds of birds, even bluebirds like you.
Yeah, well, I don't really like that very much.
Yeah, neither do I, Milo. And in here is a pretty epic room. Why don't you take a look?
Wow, we're actually under the water!
Yeah, and Milo, take a closer look. Doesn't it look like we are inside a giant aquarium that's themed around the stomach of a bloop?
Wow, we're inside the bloop's tummy!
Oh yeah, we totally are. And there are so many tropical fish here. And look, we're even inside the ribs and you can see the poor skeleton of a little fishy down here.
Oh, that's a bit sad, but mostly this is actually just really cool.
Thanks, Milo. Yeah, I worked pretty hard on it to make sure that this room is really, really epic looking.
Good job, Chip.
Thanks, Milo. Now, if you come take a look over here, you will see the next room. This is the bloop's bedroom. It is very, very cool looking. And even down here, we have some beds and carpets and some nice vines hanging from the ceiling.
This is pretty fancy. It's a cozy little room for a big sharky.
Thanks, Milo. And it also has a lot of extra space because the bloop is huge after all. He would totally not fit in any other room.
Yeah, plus he's gonna need a lot of space to stretch out.
Exactly. And now there's another room down here that is actually just for us and not for the bloop at all.
What? Really? That's kind of cool.
Oh yeah, Milo, do you want to come take a look at what this room is?
Yes, please.
All right, well, to come take a look, you just need to jump down here using the slime blocks, and boom, we now enter the observation room where we can see everywhere under the entire ocean.
Are you kidding me? This is so cool.
Thanks, Milo. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Not to brag, but I think it's some of my best work.
Well, I really like this part, Chip. I think this might actually be my favorite part of the whole build.
Wait, really? Wow, that's so awesome. I'm really glad you like it, Milo. I spent a bit of time on it.
Yeah, I truly really like the build, Chip, but I kind of want to take one more look at the front of it.
Okay, Milo, let's go see the epic front of my bloop. Wow, I really forgot how scary it looked from this angle. It is so cool seeing my bloop statue in full.
Well, even though you made the bloop look scary, I have to give you a good score because it's actually incredible.
Wow, thanks, Milo, but wait a second. What score are you gonna give me?
Well, I've really thought hard about it, and I think the score that I'm gonna give you is a 5 out of 5.
Whoa, that's amazing! That is 1 point higher than your score of 4 out of 4, and that means I win!
Wait a second, I didn't really think that through.
Wait a minute, Milo. There's still one way that you could possibly win this.
What is this?
We need to see which one the bloop likes the most.
Chip, how will we know which one the bloop likes best?
I don't really know, Milo, but I think we're about to find out in 3, 2, 1.
I don't know what to... Oh, what is going on?
Oh my goodness, Milo, your house just exploded, but wait a second.
Do you see that?
Yeah, Milo, it's the bloop. He was underneath your house the whole time, and whoa, he is eating what is left of your house. Yes, I won!
Chip, you actually didn't win. The bloop is on my side, meaning that I won!
Milo, no, he just ate your house. You definitely lost.
Yeah, whatever, loser. I'm going to swim with my new friend. I even have some fishies in my pocket for him. Come on, bloop, let's be friends!
Milo, no!